Hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Axe, and I think it's time for another chill commentary. I'm kind of in the mood for one. I haven't done one in a while. I really like doing these chill commentaries because even though I'm never a fake me in my other videos, I'm generally more energy driven, and I generally have a topic in mind when I start the commentary. I've kind of plotted out where I want to go and, shared my thoughts and feelings. But I really like these chill commentaries because, one, it's just kind of like when I'm in my thinking state, something sparks my interest and mind. And two, I kind of take it where it goes, like I have some ideas in mind, but if my mind starts getting onto something else, I wander to that. So I really like these chill commentaries. I enjoy doing them. It's a nice balance between what I normally do, and it kind of gives me time to talk about some pretty cool stuff in more length and detail and whatever. But anyways, I have dragged on long enough about the boring behind the scenes stuff. So anyways, it's late night. I'm doing good. I'm doing really well. Today's been a good day. I broke 50,000 views, which is amazing, and I broke 1,800 subscribers the other day, so I'm getting really close to that. It's pretty phenomenal. And I've done some other things tonight. I watched actually a pretty good independent film on Netflix. It's called Charlie Bartlett, and it was made back in 2007, I believe. And it's an independent film, so it's not as good. It's not as how should I put this? I felt like it was a very good movie. I liked it a lot. Obviously, production quality. It's not like super, amazing. It's independent, but it's good. And it had a lot of really cool emotions in it that I guess I enjoyed. It also has Robert Downing Jr. in it, who I really like him. So that went really well, and it was pretty cool. And I guess I'll go into it. So kind of, you don't have to see it. What it basically is about this kind of rich kid who, I mean, he's not pompous about it. He's not like, oh, I'm rich. He's actually really down to earth, which I thought was cool. And it's this guy who keeps getting kicked out of schools, high school stuff, for doing crazy, dangerous, replicating licenses, or in some cases, this one's selling pharmacy drugs. And he kind of finds his place by being the one that everyone wants to be with. And it's cool because he's not an asshole, he's not a douche, but he kind of, at least in this movie, tries to work his way into the student body and be something big and be accepted. And this is the first time I believe going to public school, so it kind of sounds like a stupid oh, rich kid goes to public school idea, but it's not. It's really cool because he's a guy who kind of finds his way into people's acceptance by acting like their doctor. He'll listen to their thoughts and their ideas, and they find huge amount of acceptance in him. Now, originally the growth comes from selling the prescription drugs to people. And it's kind of cool because it's not just drug dealing. It's talking to people with issues, then going to these guys, acting like he has these issues to get the drugs he needs to prescribe to these people. So it's really interesting. It's kind of a cool idea. But the thing that I liked about it is that he basically becomes, even when he stops doing the drug thing, he becomes a very powerful, influential figure within the school. And there's kind of a lot of stuff there. And it's kind of cool because it's this whole idea of acceptance. It's people kind of playing off of each other's needs in one another. And I like it. I like his character very much because he's a guy who kind of is expected to be in this role of maturity and adulthood, but deep down is a kid, and he's kind of fixated on fixing everybody else's problems, but he doesn't have really anybody to take care of him. It's not that he can't deal with his problems, it's just that there's nobody really there to help, fix him up. And I think that's kind of cool idea, because I can somewhat relate to it. Not a parallel figure, but in some ways it kind of reflected some stuff in my past, which I kind of enjoyed. But it's cool because all the people there respect and start getting into this guy, and kind of, again, playing off this idea of acceptance and the way of how far people will go to feel needed. And it's kind of cool because every time he does these things, it's they're always incredibly, like I said, illegal, dangerous things, forgery, copyright, stuff like that, but he does them really well. But it's interesting because like they asked, he's like, why do you do this? He's like, I don't know. And then later kind of revealing that, like, you know, everybody comes to me to solve their problems, everyone comes to this, but I'm just as fucked up as all of you. You know, he's like, I wake up in the mirror, I don't know where I fit in. You know, and it's really cool because he gets this human view on what we kind of consider the therapist. Even with me on this channel, I've worked past a lot of problems I used to have and a lot of battles I used to fight with myself constantly. But even back then, people would take my advice. And when I put up videos such as these, and people leave comments saying that they look up to me and that they're really happy and proud and, you know, all these things, that they really think I'm a good person, you know, part of me takes some nice, you know, oh, thank you, and that makes my day amazing. But the other part of me is kind of the same way of like, you know, I'm just as human. I also have my issues. I also have my gripes. Who are you to take advice from me? But it's kind of nice because even with that admittance, people found security in him. They found empowerment in him because he wasn't an authority figure. He was somebody just to listen to. And it's amazing how far people will trust you and be comfortable with you when all they really want is someone to listen to. Like, if you just listen to somebody, sometimes it means more to them than you think. And it's kind of cool seeing that in an atmosphere of a film, independent as it may be. It definitely has emotional roles, which I feel is good. And it really captures, I mean, at some points very stereotypical, like, social status, but it also is, you know, it captures kind of what really is youth instead of just the stereotypical, you know, boom, everyone's happy, go to school, get good grades, straight to college. It's kind of cool. Some lines in there, people saying, you know, I don't know, just kind of struggles that are really down to earth, really true. So I enjoyed that thoroughly. Well, lines, love Robert Downey Jr. The main actor kid did pretty well. I don't know what his name is, but no, I thought it was a really good movie. And one more thing I should probably say about it, is that it really was cool because it fixated also in the end on this idea of that the title that you might think is important and you may want is not really the best for you. That's not, you know, the titles that we give the most importance to or the dreams we have sometimes aren't what we really need. And that kind of plays through the main character's role and Robert Downey Jr.'s role because he's a principal who's basically becoming an alcoholic due to it being so out of character to him when all he wants to do is kind of be like this teacher again. And then you have the main character who is having this fantasy of being like everybody's doctor, like fixing you know, being the most popular guy, when in the end he realizes what he really wants is just acceptance. And so I think it's a pretty cool idea. I think it's a pretty cool concept, and I really enjoyed how it was all put together. I actually didn't intend to talk about this movie that much. I meant to talk more about the aspect of acceptance in society. But, you know, I'm going to do this anyway because it really... I'm not saying you have to watch it because there are some stuff that's a bit heavier than normal. But it was a good film to me. And I kind of wanted to talk about that and those ideas and those concepts because it's true. And it's amazing how we as people will bond so tightly and get so much security just through listening to one another. And sometimes that really pays off. You know, sometimes... You know, they say the good guy finishes last, but I don't know, sometimes the good guy gets what he wants, and that's not gets what he wants, gets what I guess I should say gets what he deserves once in a while. That also sounds cocky. You know what I mean? Sometimes the good guy gets rewarded once in a while, and it's kind of through this process and through this stuff that I may or may not have met someone that you may or may not know. And that will be unconfirmed. It was on my Twitter, so I'll say that for this time, but she's pretty cool. So anyways, guys, thank you all very much. I realize I rambled a lot about a film probably none of you know of and none of you watch, but that's kind of what chill commentary is about. Go with it. And if nothing else, I hope you enjoyed kind of the ideas and concepts I threw around, because that's always fun. So anyways, guys, have an amazing day. I'm having a good night so far, and yeah, have a great day, everybody.